Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna show you how I make the colors that I need. Now, I usually start with the background, and I start by identifying the colors, more importantly, the value of the background. Now, I know the background has different values, but I want to try to identify the main overall and start there. And I think that it is this one. So with no color at all, I'm just grabbing the gray. I grab the brush and I put it right there. And I paint next to it and see if it's the same value. Now with the naked eye, it's very difficult to see. It's very difficult to see with the naked eye. So what I do is I use my value finder right here, and I look at it because this takes away the color and just lets you see exactly the value. And it's exactly the value, the one that I made. Well, I've been doing this once or twice, so I'm usually pretty good at this. All right, eyeballing things. So I make a big pile. And now the next question is, okay, what is the overall color that I see here? And I see green, big time. And I see blue-green. So I go to the closest color, which is my blue-green that I already made. And I add it to the gray. But it's not just right there. Look at this. Just by adding a bit of the blue-green that I made the blue-green by mixing ultramarine blue and viridian. I'm gonna check it. Don't trust your eyes ever. Check it. And it looks pretty close, but it's a little bit too gray down there. It needs to be a little bit more intense. So I'm gonna add viridian straight. Now it looks good. More what I have here. Notice that over here is more blue, but we'll get there in a second. So right here, that's the color that I have. However, a lot of this pink is permeated and is spilling into the background. So the next thing I'm going to do is try to come up with the overall pink in here. So set this aside. And I made a pink. And the pink that I made is going to be mixing this beautiful orange with a little bit of the bright red. Mix with white. A little bit more. I ended up with a pretty close color right there. So this is going to be just the main one. So I'm going to set it aside. And whatever is left in the palette right there, whatever little bit I have, I'm going to mix it into here. This way I make sure that this color will be married into this. The next one that I'm going to mix is going to be an overall tone for the lid. I'm going to come here and it looks pretty gray down. So I'm going to start with my black and white. this value, and then I'm going to add viridian to it. And this green that I made by adding black to Winsor Lemon. Now let's see what I have here. It's pretty darn close. I don't know if you see it, but it's pretty close. And at this stage of the painting, I'm not trying to be very, very accurate. I'm just trying to be in the ballpark. So I'm making a little bit of a mixture of the main elements. So far, we have the main of the background, main of the rose, the main leaf, and the last I'm going to do is the main in the dark. And this is more complicated because you have to squint really hard. I see a lot of different values and temperatures and different hues in here, but I'm going to concentrate in coming up with just one. For that, I'm going to get a small of these value finders. So I'm going to come in here, and it's mainly dark gray with green. I see raw sienna too, because I see a lot of yellow. Let's see what I have. It's pretty close right there. So this is going to be the main in the dark, and now we're going to make the main in the light. I'm going to have this aside right here. I'm going to grab from here now to make the one in the dark, and I'm going to add a good amount of Naples yellow. Cadmium yellow. And a tiny, teeny bit of orange. So this should be very close to this. Just needs to be adjusted for values, a little bit more green and light. So since it's not only more green, but also light, I'm going to grab from the tints. See, the tints are very helpful because instead of having to add it separately by adding white and green from here, I just add it straight from the tint. And that's it. This is right there the value we have here. So this is a process that you want to follow for pretty much everything. And I know it seems extremely tedious, but this is only at the beginning. Once you have all your values in here and all the colors in here that you need, then later on you don't have to do it every single time, because otherwise it will take the joy out of painting. But I insist how important it is to get the values exact, because the colors, you have a lot of leeway with making the colors, but the values, if the values are wrong, your painting will not work. If you're not getting as dark as you need in relationship to the lights, then the painting will not work.